You know those videos with 50 screen-free activities for toddlers? Well, this is not one of those. I'm not here with a list. I'm here with something far more real. What I actually did with my kids between 2 to 5 years of age. Because when parenting gets overwhelming, sometimes what we need is not more ideas, but a story, a real mom story. I didn't follow a perfect parenting guide. I didn't have a big plan. All I knew was I wanted to be there for my daughters. And somehow, even without realizing it, we lived those early years almost completely screen free. Welcome to Beyond Words with Indu, where I speak from the heart about parenting, child development, screen free living, and building real emotional connections. Now that my daughters are 11 and 7.5, I often look back at those 2 to 5 years. That was when I had just started working full time. My husband used to be away for weeks and months at a time due to work. So it was mostly just me and the kids. And I had to manage my work, household chores, and 2 small children. There were so many things to take care of. But somewhere deep inside, I always asked myself, am I spending enough time with them? There were days I felt guilty that I was away working while they were still small. And because it was just me at home with them, I knew when I was with them, I needed to give them all of me. That was my intention, to be fully present even if it is just for some moments. Whenever I could, I'd take them to the park. If I got back from work early, or on Sundays, we'd carry fruits or snacks, sit on the grass and just talk. They ran around, observed everything, and I just soaked in those little moments. They had toys. They are mostly open-ended toys, the ones that let them use their imagination and play differently each time. Simple things like blocks, animals, kitchen sets, magnetic tiles, etc. Toys that didn't have a fixed way to play. They could build, imagine, and change the story every time. At home, they were involved in all small things I did. While I cooked, they stood beside me, guessing the vegetables, smelling spices, asking questions. They knew what dish was being made just from the smell. Even during the housework, they helped, dusting the bed, putting toys away, arranging things. That's when we talked. It was not about getting the chores done quickly. It was about being with them while doing life. We had books, simple picture books with short sentences. I would read them aloud and then retell the story in our mother tongue so they would understand much better. Later, my elder daughter started reading them to her younger sister. Every night we had bedtime stories. I didn't read from a book. I made up a new story every day. I always kept the language just a little above their level to help them understand more, and they waited eagerly, eyes wide and ready to imagine. They also enjoyed drawing, painting, using watercolors, gluing things, cutting, etc. My elder one started exploring it first, and the younger one always followed closely. When I was away at work, sometimes they'd stayed at my in-laws' place and sometimes they were at daycare. It was not a fixed routine. I was just trying to figure out what worked better for them at that time. At my in-laws' place, they learned traditional games from their neighborhood friends like gilly, hopscotch, lock and key, hide and seek. Even today, they continue to play many of those games at home between the two of them. When we went on walks, they learned from the world around them. We spoke about mango trees, coconut trees, birds, clouds, stones, flowers. Nature became their book. Even during bath time, we had conversations. What made them happy that day? What made them sad or angry? Through those small talks, they slowly began learning to name their emotions. And when it comes to screens, I never had a strict no screen rule, but looking back now, I realize they barely had screen exposure. Not because I was trying to control anything, but because we were just living together in that moment. If you're thinking it all sounds beautiful, yes, it was. But it was not easy. There were days I was drained. There were moments I doubted myself. But definitely God helped me. And through it all, I learned something. You don't need to create a perfect childhood. You just need to be present in their childhood. Even 15 to 20 minutes of full presence without distractions can build a strong emotional connection that lasts. You don't need fancy activities. You don't need a long to-do list. You just need to sit beside them, talk to them. Let them be part of your everyday life. To every parent watching this, please know this. You're not just managing routines. You're shaping a childhood, and you're doing better than you think. In the process, take care of yourself too. In my upcoming video, I will be sharing what I did with my kids between ages 5 to 11. That's a whole new phase with its own joys and challenges. Let's keep growing together. Let's together raise gadget-free, emotionally strong kids. Stay tuned.